Coach Adam Carter. I'm the head football coach at Grayson High School. Today, I think I was able to talk about 3-3 coverages out of the 3 styles, defending 20 and 21 personnel, and then I did a defensive game planning session, just talking about we go through our week.
Some guys from Georgia down here. Obviously, Georgia plays really good football. They've got some really big football programs, and Grayson is one that I recognize. Just being a Florida guy, I know what Grayson High School is and how big of a program it is, and then being a little bit selfish, knowing that they're doing some 3 high safety stuff. We're a 3 high safety team, so I figured I'd reach out to Coach Carter. I don't know him, never met him in my life, reached out to him on Twitter and said, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And he said, yeah, Coach, I'd love to. So excited to have Coach Carter down there. He's been coaching for 13 years. 2019 Region 7A champions, 2018 Region champions, defensive coordinator for a state championship. He's coached at Camden County, Valdosta, Reinhardt University, South Carolina State, Creekview, now the head coach at Grayson. He'll be speaking on 3 high safety coverage stuff and some 3-3 stuff versus 20 and 21 personnel. All right, so with no further ado, Coach Carter, Grayson High School, thanks for coming. Appreciate you.
Thank you for that. So I was excited to come down. One, I get to come to the beach. I don't get to see that. It's about 30 degrees and raining in Atlanta, so this is kind of cool for me and the wife and the little man's. But I'll talk about whatever you want me to talk about. I'm not telling y'all to do this. I'm not telling you that it's the best way to do it. I'm just going to tell you how we do it. And y'all probably can pick me apart, and some people probably have. I just try to do what our kids can do when our kids do well, and try to find that and try to do it on Friday nights. We change week to week a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go into a ton right now. I'm just going to try to hit it. I got a lot of slides on this coverage one. The most that we do defensively is based around our coverage. We do a lot. I was a DB guy in college. I've been fortunate enough to work with some good DB people, and so our whole deal is based around and is how in the back half can kind of help fit with run fits and all that stuff. So I'll roll with it. If you have any questions, y'all ask. There's my information. I know it cut the 2 letters off of the Under Armour deal, but it's on there. It's just Adam_Carter. I'll send you whatever I got. I don't mind that. So y'all just let me know whatever I got, you can have. Can y'all see that? There's just going to be, they need to turn it down a little bit. Turn it down a little bit?
Yeah, please.
Can you do it better? Can you do it better?
I think it's right.
I think he's got it right now. So as far as personnel, I had a guy the other day that came by on Wednesday and talked to us a little bit, one of the personnel. I put film on here from 2 years. I put film from 18 and I put film from 19. 2018, I was at Creekview High School, a 6A school in Canton, Georgia. My football team was 99% country white kids. We played in 6A football. We went 12-1. We got beat by Lee County down in Leesburg. It was 14-7 at halftime. I thought we had a shot. This past year, I took the job at Grayson, and at Grayson, I got a little different kind of guy. We're pretty talented there. If you look at it, though, we run the same stuff. We didn't change. So corner-wise, I leave mine most of the time, and I have a guy that I think is a better corner, and I'll send him to their boundary most of the time is what I do. So essentially, our guys play left and right. It doesn't matter. They're going to learn both. We make them practice both. I am a press bail guy. I want to get up in them. I'll talk about press bail if you want me to, but we want to show press bail as much as possible. If we play off, I'm a shuffle technique guy. Our dog and rover are interchangeable. I have a dog and rover because I say that our dog goes to the field because most of the time when he starts getting in our trips checks and all those things, he will actually go down. And you'll see that in a minute. Or if you're going to give me a lot of 2-back, I can either stay 3 high or I can send him down. So if I got to say one guy's more of a safety, that would be the guy to the boundary most of the time. My free safety's got to be our guy. He has to be able to tackle well, and he's got to be really smart. He makes all my checks. We're a formation check team, so a lot of that stuff is going to be based off of him. Making the calls on what he actually sees. And you'll see him run in a minute. So our corner technique is we are a shuffle team if we're not bailing. We don't teach a shuffle as far as like a stand up and here shuffle. Ours is almost a sideway run. Kind of example of that is almost like going through ladder drills. We're picking our feet up and putting them down. You'll see kids get lazy and stand up, but just like everybody else in America. We'll do our divider rule based on inside leverage, outside leverage, head up based on where they are on numbers. Everybody does that. I teach, our biggest thing for our guys is eye discipline, because most 3-3 teams are playing a lot of cover 3. We play very little cover 3. So it's got to be up to what their eyes are. And I've already said the press man stuff. I'm kind of flying through this stuff so we can get to it. So here's where the difference is, I guess, in the 3 high safety. We're going to be, in our match stuff, our match would be quarters. If I was a 3-4 team, our match would be a 3-4s cover 4, or straight quarters. All right, I'm going to put them at 1x8 outside of number 2. We're going to flat foot everything. We're not pedal on the snap. We're going to scooch on the snap. And again, it'll come in a second when I kind of tell you why our kids do what they do. The only difference in our alignment is if they give me a tight end, then I'll go to 2 and 7. I'll kind of walk up a little bit and outside so I can force versus stretch and all those things. Again, we match our in match, we're hot feet and we'll scooch and man as well. If they give me a nub tight end, or not a nub tight end, just a regular tight end set with an open receiver, we're still going to show back at 7. And as the snap happens, we're going to end up at 4 and 4. So again, I'll get back into that 3 high look, or the 3 stack look versus a 2 back set. We will also play read. Read is palms for most of you guys. Again, so if you're looking at it in big picture, and I'll the picture better in a second, it's 3-4, take the free safety out. So all I do is, I have a free safety sitting in the middle of a 3-4 look, is what it is. All right, and so it'll look a little different in a second. Our ponies have got to be pretty special though. Those kids have got to be 2 of your better players, because they have to be able to drop in coverage. They got to be able to play a 2 vertical. They've got to be able to go up and stop the run. When I go to 20 personnel here in a minute, they got to be able to come off the edge. So those are really, really athletic, talented kids that are physical as well. And so those would be the ones that are hard to find. Corners, not so much. Our frees got to be relatively smart. Mine that I had last year played at the Citadel. Mine that I had this year as a junior, he is 5'10", he's 175 pounds. He's a really good high school football player. He's not just a beast, but he'll run downhill and he'll hit you, and he can get us lined up. So we don't backpedal on the snap unless the quarterback tells us to. So we read everything through the mesh. If the ball's in the mesh, you'll see him, he's just going to sit there flat-footed. If the quarterback catches the snap and he gets in his drop, then we pedal. He's a true, like a high hole, Tampa 2 stuff, that's him. He's a high hole guy. He very rarely is in the coverage part of it unless it's a 3 vertical type deal out of 2x2, if the back comes up the middle, or 2x1, they get a sniffer out. All right, that's really only his rules as far as passing. He is my adjuster. He'll adjust everything when it comes to all of our trips checks. So again, he makes all those calls. Everybody else has to shut up and listen to him. So match. Again, match is our quarters look. I tell our guys when we install it to play it as much as possible. And then they don't want to play it as much as possible because, again, for those ponies, they're sitting there and they're having to read stuff as far in a scooch technique and play vertical routes. So there gets it's more comfortable for them just to backpedal on the snap, try to keep everything in front. But I want to make sure that we can actually force some throws. So we'll tell them to play it as much as possible. So if you think about what we do, it's more Ripplin's match. So our guys have got a 2 vertical or they got 2 out. Again, we're 1x8 off of a remove number 2. If 2 vertical or 2 out, I got him. If 2 runs a drag or any kind of shallow, we tell him now to give an undercall and find the crosser. Now, here's how we dictate that. We look for the top shoulder. So if I'm running a route and my top shoulder stays vertical and he's trying to run your wide cross, we stay on. If my top upfield shoulder turns to me, now I come off and I give an undercall and I look for our deep crosser. So that's kind of the Ripley's match part of that. My Mike is our extra player. So if you think about what my Mike does, he was a 6'1", 220 kid. He's probably a 4'8" guy. He's going to end up going to like Lenore Ryan or somewhere like that. I think Wingate this weekend. But he was a really smart kid. But he is just a spy guy and a low hole guy. And he runs and he tackles the football. So I don't even put him in the pass drop unless it's certain down and distances and stuff like that. Our 2 stack backers, what we call Sam and a Will. Those are your 2 outside backers in the 3-4. Right? And all they are for us is they are drop, hook, curl, 3 to the flat. What we teach them is when I line up, and we'll draw it all 2x2. We didn't see 2x2 very much, but if you see 2x2, if the back's to me, I got immediate threat right now. I got to be ready for him to flare. Right? That's my 3 to the flat. If the back's on the other side, I know right now, if I don't get anything, my 3 to the flat's coming through from the other side. You hear a lot, I know a lot of people may say 3 through, right? But we just say hook curl, 3 to the flat. Whether he's coming from my side or whether he's coming from the back side. Our undercall is big. Our undercall tells us essentially, when I get an under route, all I'm doing is turning and finding the crossing route. And so that's one of those communication things you got to work on. Again, and we escort it with those ponies. You'll see our guys, if they get an undercall, they escort it here while their eyes are looking there, so that we kind of close that space down. If I get a drag, I gotta think Deke's coming back anyway, right? The only thing that can help me is mesh, which those backers are taking care of mesh. So what I like about it is, normally in 3-3, everybody says, well, we're just going to stretch the seams. Well, they can't do that anymore. I got 2 guys outside leverages on the seams that's pushing it to a free safety and 2 stack backers inside of them. That seam throw's not there. My whole goal in this whole defense is to make teams throw the ball 15 yards and out toward the sideline.